Hello everyone, welcome to this live support session, so the last one of the year. Today is quite special because we are two functional consultants to answer your question. So my name is Benjamin, and in one minute you'll see Kiran coming. So we are two functional consultants dedicated to answer your questions. So as usual, feel free to answer to ask any question you want on the chatter. We'll be glad. We'll be very happy to answer all of them. Just a small reminder: this is a functional session. So yeah, any kind of functional question, of course. If there is any technical question, maybe we can try to help you. But if it's too technical, there are other technical live session. They will be next year. Actually, in 2 weeks there is a technical session scheduled. So please feel free to ask your question in the chatter, and yes, we'll be very happy to discuss them. Just to start, I'm gonna share my screen with you, so we can make a small introduction. Yes, with Odoo, and welcome Kiran. So,
hello YouTube. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas to all of you, and soon a Happy New Year.
Indeed. So what's the plan? Are we showing your screen?
Yeah, you can show my screen.
Okay.
And so yeah, for those who doesn't know Odoo yet, this is Odoo. So the main interface. I've just created a new database where I installed some applications there. Maybe we'll have to configure it a little bit during the demonstration and so on, depending on the question. So yeah, feel free to ask anything you want. Okay.
Hello Kapila, welcome.
Yeah. So if you have any question, feel free, or we can start with some demonstration. Do you have questions for me? Kiran,
do I have
maybe?
questions for you? What should we start? Should we start? How should we start? In a multi-company environment? Are you comfortable with that?
That's maybe a good question, because actually a lot of customer wants to use Odoo as a multi-company environment. As you maybe know, that's something possible with Odoo.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, maybe let's start with this. So here's the thing: there are two users in my database, one for myself and one for Kiran.
Me, yeah.
Yes, I've just invited Kiran to the database, so we'll see how we can use multi-company with the same database, where we can share product, we can share customer if we want, and let's start with this. Yes.
Okay.
So
let's say I have two companies.
Yes.
Company A and Company B.
Yeah.
And my Company A needs to buy from my Company B to sell a good. You see what I mean?
You want intercompany flows?
Yes.
Okay, let's do that. So the first thing to do, of course, is to create the companies and to configure Odoo for the multi-company environment. So I'm going to do that in the general settings. So as you can see in the main menu, I go to the settings, and in the general settings, I can configure Odoo to be used in a multi-company environment. Yes, Odoo is loading. It takes a few seconds to access the general settings. Yeah. So there in the general settings, you have the settings to activate the multi-company. That's the first thing to do. Yeah, I don't know why. And I can, yes, right now activate intercompany transaction. That will be done. Okay. It's loading. I don't know why I don't see the little checkbox, but anyway, it will be activated. And I save this configuration. Okay, so configuration can load a few seconds because it installs some modules in the backend and so on. So sometimes it takes a few seconds to configure the database, but that's something you have to do only once, of course. So yes, it's loading. And then the second thing, and yes, the second thing I can do is to create my my companies. As I have already created the database, I have a first company already created in the database, which will be my company A, and I'm just gonna create a second company, so the company B, where after that I'll be able to make some intercompany transaction. So Odoo is still loading. Yeah. Sometimes, sometimes it takes a little bit more time. I don't know. It's maybe the connection is not so good, but let's see. Okay.
How do I configure sale orders default warehouse according to the user?
So there is a fair question, Kapila. So you want to configure sale orders default warehouse according to the user. I'm gonna show it, or I don't know if you want to show it while it's so.
Can you do it according to the user?
Yeah, you have to configure some default value, but you have to put some condition. You can put some condition on the created user. So maybe that will work. We have to try, because that's a default value. We'll have to set up in the technical settings. I think we can try. That's not sure we'll be able to do it, but
because I would have thought that in standard is more configured according to the goods, to the product.
Yeah,
you know?
But yeah. We'll see. So let's continue with this question, and if we don't have question, we'll continue with the multi-company environment.
Yep.
So maybe with the default value. So first I'm gonna apply the multi warehouse, because you probably have two warehouses. So in the inventory settings, that's a quite new database. So I need to make a multi warehouse environment. Let's save it, hoping that it will be quicker than installing the multi-companies environment. And then I'm going to create a second warehouse and check if we can set the default values on the warehouse in the sale order. Okay, it was quick, so let me create a second warehouse. I have a first warehouse and warehouse number 2. Okay, with a short name, WH2, for the same company. Okay, now indeed in the sale order, as you probably know, you can, if you define a customer, I will create a customer. You can use a warehouse there, so you can switch from one warehouse to another. And let's try to make this as a default value. So for example, for myself, I want to use the warehouse number 2 as a default warehouse. First, I'm gonna apply the debug mode, so the developer mode in the settings. I need to activate the developer mode to be able to set some default values. Okay, once activated, I go back to the sale order. Yes, I'm gonna create a new quotation, and I want, by default, the first warehouse is used, but I want for myself to use the second warehouse. Okay, and with the developer mode activated, I have a new option there in the main menu that I can use. So open developer tools, and there I can use the set default option. There I can set a default where I can use my warehouse 2 as a default, and I can also set some condition. But you see that the condition is not feasible with some user, but I'll try to do it with a technical way. That's why I'm not sure it's gonna work. Let's do that. So I will just choose a condition. But no, you see that I can also set a condition only for myself. So that could be an answer for your question, even easier. I can set a default for myself as a user. If I save this default, the next time I'm gonna create a quotation. Let me refresh the database to be sure it's saved correctly. And next time I'm creating a quotation, warehouse number 2 will be used. Now, if Kiran can maybe show his screen, because he has access to the same database, I think that if
I create a quotation.
Yes. In the other information, the warehouse number 2 is also used. Let me see. By default. Maybe you can switch to my screen, because in the settings, let's see the default value. In the technical, still with the developer mode activated, in the technical you can access all the default, the user defined default there. Okay, and so I see there that the warehouse is activated, but there I need to set a user. I don't know why it's what's not done, but maybe I did maybe something wrong. But there you can still set a user. So only myself, I created a database with this account, so that's me. So now let me go back to the quotation and be sure it's still working for myself. If I create a new quotation, in the other information, warehouse number 2 is
and let's check if it works for me.
And yes.
Just refresh the page to be sure. Bingo.
Yes. The first warehouse is still used, as you can see. So that's maybe the best way to do it in your way. And what I was about to explain is that even if the condition is not available in the default screen, so when you open the set default option, so you can even use a condition on the payment terms, for example. But as you can see in the developer tools, it's not possible to set a condition on the payment terms. But with some technical knowledge, you can just see the name of the field there by leaving your mouse on the field. You see that the field name is payment term ID. And then, as I've shown you, in the technical and user defined default, you can set some condition. Let me just check. Maybe I have to default value field edit. Where is the condition? I can maybe set a condition because the field should be there. Let me see something. View field condition. Yes, the field is not there. I don't know why. Let me just check a minute. Condition is not there yet. By default, it's not done. But you can, that's quite technical. Maybe it's not important to show it, but you can also, with some technical knowledge, you can set some condition up with the field, which is a default field, which should be a default field with some Python expression. You can set a default condition. So, for example, if I set a default values based on some conditions, so for example, I set the default sales channel is sales if the customer is false. It's not really relevant, but then I can check my default sales channel, and you see that there is a condition set there. So I can also edit it myself and make a condition myself if the condition is not available in the default screen. Okay.
After setting up unit of measure in product form as well as in inventory config, now after I raise an RFQ of some new products and create its new corresponding unit, whole inventory changes its units.
Some new products and create its new corresponding units. The whole inventory change its units. I don't know. So you use unit of measure, so a different unit of measure, and you have a products that you configure with another unit of measures. That's what I understood. Let me, apply the unit of measure in the database. So after setting up unit of measure in product form as well as in inventory configuration, now after I raise a request for quotation of some new product and create its new corresponding units, will inventory change its units? So normally, how you configure your product, it's when you create. So let me first show you the unit of measure. So if I go to the sales configuration, unit of measure are installed. So you have a lot of unit of measure. So for example, you can you can group by category if you want and check, for example, for units you have only units and dozen, which is 12 times bigger than the units, the reference unit of measure, which is the unit. Okay, so the units is the reference of this category. You can only have one reference for the category units, and then as I explained, the dozen is 12 times bigger. So when I first create a product, I can indeed choose a unit of measure. I can choose a unit of measure for my sales, and that will be used for sales and all the stock operation. So for example, if I only sell in dozen, I can do it. You see that if I change the unit of measure for sales, the purchase unit of measure is also changed, but I can use another unit of measure for the same, related to the same category. I cannot, for example, buy in dozens and sell in hours, because those two units of measure doesn't belong to the same company, to the same category. Sorry. So if I save, I cannot save it. So I need to use. Let's say I sell and I want to keep my stock in unit of measure, so in dozens, and I want to buy in units. Okay. So that could be a use case. You'll see that if you raise an RFQ now for this project, it will be done in units, because you set the purchase unit of measure as the units. So if I raise a RFQ, you see that the product unit of measure is units there. Now if I buy 36, for example, units of this product, I confirm the order, and if I receive the product, so I will receive 36 units, I validated, so it's applied, I have no, and now if I check my stock for this product, sorry, I check my stock, I have only three quantities on hand, but those quantities is actually dozens. So I have three multiplied by 12 units. So I have 3 dozens for my product. So my inventory is managed with my main unit of measure set in my product, and that's the same for the sales. So if I go to the sales and now create a quotation, I want to sell this product. So let me check. Because of course there is a default value for my warehouse, so I have no units in this warehouse, but let's say that I change the warehouse. I want to sell 1 dozen, but I can also change the unit of measure. If I want to sell, instead of dozen, I want to sell 2 units, I don't know, I can also do it. Okay? Of course, once again, I cannot use another unit of measure that does not belong to the same category. But I can sell in units and in dozen. But the default the default unit of measure will be the one defined on the product form.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I think at the same time you may even have answered Fabio Thielen's question. Can you show how to set up the unit of measure for products? I need multiple UMs for sales, like 1 carton equals 12 pieces, which is exactly what you showed.
Yeah.
Literally.
Indeed.
Now we have a question of David LPF. I'd like to know how I can find red messages. There is any way to see they in the discuss box, like an archive folder in V8. Oof, I'm not really familiar with V8. And do messages in discuss get archived?
So there is not really an archived. There is a way to see in the discussing box, like an archive folder in V8. So you are talking about the discuss application there, and there you would like to see the archived messages. That's what you want to do. I don't know. Let me check if there is a field we could use. Need action. If that's what you are talking about, so the red messages. So if I receive a message, it goes to my inbox, of course. But let me check if I can archive. Maybe we'll have a discussion together to see if we can maybe I'm gonna add you as a follower of this quotation, and let's have a discussion on this quotation. So you will also receive the message test. I'm gonna send it and save it. So there is no 2 followers or self. Did you receive the message?
I did receive the message, yes.
Okay. So could you maybe check your and reply to the message, or check your inbox if you can see the message in your inbox?
I did, yeah. It's right there.
Yeah, and your inbox in
here. Yes, my bad. Discuss.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so you can see it, and now if you mark it as red, so it's still red, okay. And you know if you go back to the yes.
Where was it? Cell order? Was
yes,
it cell order?
Or if you yes, or maybe if you refresh the database and go back to the discuss. So you can see it in the cell order, of course. And now this is empty because everything is red. But what if I want what if you want to see again this message? Is there any filter we can use maybe?
Maybe. Has mentioned that custom filter.
No, I don't think
maybe
so.
Maybe created on date.
No, because it has been archived.
There's no unarchive field.
No. Know what you can do if you want to keep it. You can maybe add a star on it, and it will go to the star.
Yeah, maybe that's a workaround.
Also,
do you want to do the test?
Yeah, you can maybe reply to the message if you want, or send another message from the quotation. Yes, that will do the trick. And
there you go.
Let me check if
back to Benjamin.
Yes, so I received it in my not yet. Let me check if I received it. It's not yet in my wait, yes, maybe that's because so test 2. Let me check if I'm a follower. So the discussion, but maybe in my preferences. Let me check. Yeah. Can you do it again, please? Because,
sure. Let me quickly refresh. Okay. Test 3 then.
Yeah, please. Done?
Yep.
Let me check if I received it. Yes, it's there, but it's not in my inbox. Why is it not in my inbox? I don't know yet. That's weird. And let me check if I go to the quotation, so I can see it if I mark it as a star. No. I don't know why. Ah, yes. Now I can see it. Yes, if I mark it as a star, I can I can still see it in the starred one. And what I also wanted to tell you is that if you go to the settings, still with the developer mode activated, in the technical, there under messages, you can find all the messages sent from the database. So and to the database actually. So you can see that Kiran sent a message with the test3 body. So you can also see all the recipients, so who received the message. So that's also a way, even if it was archived. So Kiran archived my message. Let me check. Yes, that was my message. Kiran archived it from his discussion, but you can still find it there if you want. So you can still find the message back.
So just to give the example, we both saw that in my discuss it's not there anymore. It's not even starred. But if I go to settings, technical messages, I'll be able to find it right there. This works for emails, but it wouldn't work for chatter messages, like the instant, the channels, the direct messages.
So I hope this answers your question. If not, if you want more details, yes, please ask us in the chatter. We'll be happy to try to help you a little bit more. Okay.
Back to the UOMs. That part I understand, but where can I add multiple UOM for the sales or sales team can choose sell by unit or by full carton or by full pallet?
Where can I add multiple UOMs for the sales? So a sales team can choose sell by unit or by full carton or by full pallet. But once again, I think I showed it, but I'm not sure. So if you want to allow only a unit of measure for some sales team, it's not feasible. So it's not possible to apply only a unit of measure for only one sales team. If you install a unit of measure, by default, it's available for
everyone,
everyone in the company. Yeah. But no, once again, because in your question you talk about yes, by full carton or full
or pallets or so on. But that's the same thing. You define your UMs and then you select them in the quotations. For example, you know?
Because if you know that you have a palette of 36 units, you can also do it. You can create a new unit of measure, palette of 30 units. Okay, let me of 30 units. You can do it. You choose the same category as the other unit of measures, and it's not the reference one because I won't be able to. I cannot have two reference units of measure for the same category. It will lead to some misconfiguration. So you can make it bigger as the unit of measure and 36 times bigger than the reference. So Odoo knows that a palette of 36 units contains actually 36 units. And now, as I've shown you before, in the quotation, if you use the same product, if you use the same product, still the message for the warehouse, but it's not really important. The default one is the one set on the product, but you can use now the palette of 36 units because it belongs to the same category. Okay, and if I choose this one, of course it will trigger a move for one palette of 36 units, but my inventory, once again, so if I check the inventory of this product, I had 36 units in my inventory because I had 3 quantity for the dozen actually, and now I have nothing in my inventory, which is quite logic.
Yeah, you didn't confirm the sale of the 2 units.
No,
Okay,
that I
that's
did
why.
before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
In the, of course, my quotation number 1, it was not confirmed yet.
yeah.
So
Okay. Fabio, for the UMs, if you have further questions or if we didn't quite answer your question, don't hesitate to get back to us with more details and so on. Yeah.
yeah, I think I think there was a question just about the Mifte company as well.
Just afterwards, yeah. This one from Sakib.
Yeah, indeed, and I think there was one before as well.
Oh, am I blind? Let me check.
Yeah.
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Apologies, Sakiba.
you created, and yes, you asked it the second time. So yeah, if we forgot your question, do not hesitate to copy paste it
Be
in the chat.
patient. Sorry about that. Yeah. So I've created a multi-company scenario. Now there is one parent company and a child company. I've created one sale manager and user of that. While creating a sales team by manager, it is giving error.
It's giving you an error. Okay. Yeah, maybe I don't know what kind of error it gives you, but if it's a traceback, you can just report it to the support team.
Yeah, is there a message in your error, or is it? Well, how would you describe a traceback?
I don't know. Yeah, a traceback is something really bad. A technical message that you see, or is it just a warning? Yeah, I don't know. An access right error. If it's an access right, we can try to reproduce it. But anyway, if there is something wrong in the database, do not hesitate to use our support form on odoo.com/help. There you can really use this form to report any issue you have with your database. Just explain the support team how we can reproduce your issue. The steps we need to follow to reproduce it, and they'll be very happy to help you find the misconfiguration of the issue you have with your database. So we have a dedicated support team, and all the functional consultants are in charge of the support during the week, and there is also a dedicated team
for this as well. Yeah, indeed.
So yeah, because we don't want to spend too much time to try to reproduce your issue right now. We'd rather go with other questions.
It can be complicated. You know, it can be due to so many different factors that it could take ages just to reproduce the issue.
Indeed. But if you send your ticket to the support team, it will be handled by this team. Yeah.
Always best with screenshots and as many details as possible, so that we can directly see what it is. Of course. Rahaf. How can I auto-generate serial numbers for a set of products automatically and in the inventory module without the need to define each product's serial number?
Yeah, that's actually quite complicated, because you can still make an import of serial number if you want. Let me apply the serial number maybe in the database. Serial number, yes. Because the best way to do it is, of course, to make an inventory or a picking, a reception to make the inventory of your serial number and of your product. But the way I understand is that you want to create them, but you'll see that actually an import is the same thing that if you create manually some data. So I'm gonna check if I can create a serial number linked to a product, or if it's better to do it with a reception or an inventory adjustment. Let me go to the serial number. Let me check. I can maybe quantity. I cannot. Yeah, the thing is that I cannot change the quantity there. Let me try. You see, I can manually create the unit of measure, but I cannot change the quantity because it's not the way it works with Odoo. Let me try to change it manually, but I'm not sure it's gonna work with an import. If I change the quantity, no, that's not even something I can import. So let me try to do it, but it's not gonna work. I'm pretty sure. Text to column. Oops. So if I change the unit, the quantity 3, it's not the way it works. So I'm pretty sure it's not gonna work. So I'm just going to import the new file. Semicolon. Yes, you cannot even import the quantity. It's not the way it works actually. So no, I'm sorry, but there is no way to mass import serial number. You have to at the beginning of your production, let's say, you should really create all your serial number. What you can do is also use the barcode interface. You can use a scanner to make an inventory and just scan your serial number. That's something we can do with the barcode interface, and that's quite easy to make an inventory adjustment with some serial number. But there is no way to mass import serial number and make some inventory with that. We can create them, but we cannot add quantities for them.
I hope that answers your question, Rahaf. And I guess
the way of the words does not allow us to do
that. Okay, so it's Maximilian's turn, but I'd just like to tell Fabio with his UOM, we always advise you to clearly indicate the UOM you're using. So if it is a carton of 12 pieces, specify it, because otherwise it's really easy to mix them up and you'll get errors, you know. And I'm happy for you, David, that we managed to answer your question and that you actually found the module Mail Archives that does exactly what you want. That's awesome. Maximilian, hello. Is it possible to get a start and an end date in a supplier invoice or customer invoice? For example, for a mobile phone supplier invoice, if you need periods to be started on invoices. That, I'm guessing, is exactly what subscriptions would do.
Exactly, yeah.
So we have an applications for that where, well, I don't know if I can show you.
Yeah. Yep. You need to install it. It's not installed in
Indeed. There we go. We have an app for that enables you to send invoices on a reoccurring monthly basis or yearly basis, depending on what you want. And you can set a start date or an end date to it.
Indeed, yeah. But it's just for customer invoices. It's not done for vendor invoices.
Yeah.
It's done for, customer invoices.
All right. So here, do I not have the rights?
To make a maybe, yeah. Sorry.
Alright, back to Ben's screen.
Because, I'm the administrator, and let's see if Kiran has the rights to, for the subscription, subscription, but you can manage subscription, of course.
Okay, back to me. I can now manage subscriptions. Thank you, Ben.
Welcome.
Refresh. Hold on, Maximilian, yeah. But I need it to be stated in the journal entry and stated on the invoice.
Let's see how it works. You'll see that you have a reference to the subscription in the invoice, and journal entry, of course, are automatically created. Let's see if it works the way you want.
Customer 1, subscription templates. What do we want? A monthly?
Yeah, monthly, it's good. It's a good example, yeah.
Accounting journal, okay.
Yeah, you can...
Closable by customer? I should say yes. There we go.
And
start date. You can choose the start date and obviously the end date. Alright? So let's say it's a monthly that starts on January the 1st. Happy New Year. And ends on December 31st. There we go. Now we need, obviously, a subscription product.
Yes, of course.
What should we say? Phone
subscription. That's perfect. Yeah.
Sub. subscription product, save. Save.
Yes.
There we go. So we have our subscription, and you can start the subscription. What if let's say I start the subscription, yeah? And where is, where's the generate invoice?
The invoices will be generated automatically, but the next invoice...
Yes. Yeah, here it is. Okay,
yeah.
so let's say I generate the next invoice.
Yeah, but it will be done...
As an example.
Yeah.
It will be done automatically every month. But let's just say, for test purposes, I generate the invoice, validate it. There we go, and we're back. So we have one invoice that's validated, and it will have created the journal entry.
Yeah.
Associated.
Yeah, and on the invoice, you can even see that it comes from the subscription. So there is a field, I think, in the invoice. If you check the invoice, there is a field showing in the other information tab. There is a field showing
source document,
yes,
sub-01. Yeah, indeed.
Maybe that would be interesting as well to show how we can create a subscription from a sale order directly by setting the product by.
Could do.
Because of course subscription can be created from a sale order, so you can negotiate your subscription, of course.
Phone subscription.
Yeah. Do not forget to set the template, the subscription template on the product.
Yeah, that's true. Here it is. And we created the monthly, save. So here we go. Okay, the unit price, let's just say is 40 a month. Save. Confirm sale. There we go. And now if we go back to our subscriptions, it's been generated.
Customer, yeah.
Exactly. So I hope this answers your questions. If you have any more questions, don't hesitate to bring more details.
Yeah.
So here we go.
Yeah. That was for the subscription.
Yeah.
And just to finish on this subject, even unless you have other question, Maximilian, of course, there is a script running, so a scheduled action running every day, I think, to generate the recurring invoices.
Yeah.
So you don't have to do it manually. The invoices will be automatically created by themselves. So if you have 100 subscription, you don't have to click on every subscription to generate the invoices. It will be generated automatically at the date of the next invoice, and there is a script running, so that's done automatically.
Okay, he came back with a couple more. Okay, but you don't have to start date on the end date on the invoice itself. And I need it to be printed on the invoice supplier invoice, not on the subscription template. Would Odoo Studio be a solution?
Yes.
It would, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
you mentioned a related field.
Yeah,
I can show you, so if you want. Yes. Yeah. I need to install first Odoo Studio. I'm going to install it, and you'll see that with Odoo Studio, related field, as Maximilian said, is really a good way to do what you want, actually, because I think, and I need to check, but I think that on the invoice there is a direct link to the subscription, and with this direct link, subscription template or subscription, and with this direct link, I can show the start date and the end date of the subscription on the invoice. So let me just check if there is a field subscription ID on the invoice. So I have an invoice, so I have my source document, but let me check if there is a field. I hope there is a field, view fields, sub. Oh, there is no field actually, indeed. So yeah, I could show you, but so the thing is that there is a source document there, but this is not a clickable link. So this is not what we call the many-to-one field. A many-to-one field is something we can click on it. So for example, like the journal entry is like many invoice could be an invoice is related to one journal entry, and I can click on it. There is a source document, but it's not clickable. What I could do with Odoo Studio and with some customization is to create an automated action which does the trick. So with I can create a many-to-one field related to the subscription. At the invoice creation, I will set this field with the subscription link, and then I can use a related field. That's something I can try to do if you want, but I'm not sure. So that's quite technical. So I can do it with Odoo Studio, but it's a little bit technical. Let me show you. Maybe it's something I can show with Odoo Studio. So first thing to do, of course, is to create a new many-to-one field. Many-to-one field that I will drag and drop, and it allows me to show you how Odoo Studio works. So that's a good example. And I need to make a relation to the sales subscription actually. So the invoice will have a field related to the subscription. Okay, so that's the first thing I can do. And there, if you want, it's not automatically done, but you can still set the subscription manually if you want. Of course, I could try to find it automatically with an automated action at the invoice creation. If there is a subscription, I check the invoice subscription, the source document, sorry, and if I find a subscription with the same name or which contain this source document, I set it by default. That's something I could do. I'm not sure it's the best way to show it to you right now, but with some customization and the help of a consultant, you will be able to do it. But know that you have a direct link that you can set manually if you want. You can also create related field. So let me show you. So let me first check the type of field we have in the subscription. So in the form view, so there is an end date and a start date. That's a date field. So I can add two date field in the invoice as well. So in the accounting, back to the invoice, I'm gonna open the form view for the invoice, and I'm gonna add two date field in the just below the subscription. So I'm just gonna add one. It will just to show you. Let's collect start date, sub start date, and that's I did it not I did not do it correctly. Sorry, remove it from the view. Okay. I have to add a related field actually, and not a date field. Sorry. Let me refresh it because I removed it from the view, and sometimes it needs to be refreshed. Okay. Go to the form view. Add a related field in the other info, just below the subscription. Yeah. So I'm gonna add a related field, and there with the tool we can find our way back to the start date of the subscription. So you'll see that if I confirm it,
and you just simply do the same thing with the end date.
Yeah, that's exactly the same thing with the end date. And now you have that. You see that I have a related field with the date, the start date of my subscription. So the 1st January 2080, and you see that that's exactly the same there. And you can do the same with the end date, of course. And know that it is displayed on the invoice. You can also, with some customization, again, display it on the report, but with the help of a consultant. So I showed you how you can add a link to the subscription. There you have to do it manually at the invoice creation, but with an automated action you will be also able to
get it directly.
Get a direct link, but that's quite technical. And then with a direct link to the subscription, you can have a related field. So yes, I hope this answers your question, Maximilian.
Yeah, he says, what did he say? If necessary regarding a tax advisor who needs to see the start dates and end dates on the journal entry.
Also on the journal entry, but once again, on the journal entry, maybe there is on the journal entry or on the invoice, because that's different once again. But is there a link? No, once again there is no direct link to the invoice on the journal entry, but once again you could create a many-to-one
It's
field.
the same principle.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly the same on the
principle.
journal entry. Okay.
So yeah, I hope that answers your question. Sakib, as we said, yeah, it really depends on the error, and probably the simplest way would be just create a ticket to odoo.com/help and give as much information as possible as what the actual error message is and so on, and I'm sure we'll help you straight away. Prakash. Apologies if I didn't say that correctly, by the way. I want to implement VoIP for Odoo 10 community version. May we know the process and details?
I don't even know if that's available on the community version. I'm not 100% sure. Let's maybe check on the runbots if it's available, but VoIP, because if it's available on the community version, it works the same way as the enterprise version, but Kiran is just checking if it's available. If you go to the apps and just search for
Here we are.
VoIP,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
No,
it's not available.
It's not available, so
Yeah, sorry about it. I think it's available in V11 though, right? Would it?
in the community,
I don't know.
I'm not sure. Maybe just try. Let's check.
Quickly double check. No, not even. Okay, so this is for enterprise. Okay. Alright, so yeah, sorry about that. I'm on Prakash. We don't actually have that for Odoo 10 community, I'm afraid. Now, Rahaf has a question. What I mean after I purchase a set of products, then I want to deliver it to the inventory, I need to specify a unique serial number for each product manually for tracking purposes. Is there a way it will generate it automatically without the need to do it manually for each product?
Not really, because Odoo doesn't know how you can. Odoo cannot know the name of your serial number. He cannot. So, if a serial number is really related to your product and it has a specific name, Odoo cannot know this serial number name.
It's not the same thing as a sequence.
Yes, exactly.
It's two different things, yeah. Odoo will be able to do sequences because it's a logical next step. But for products, it's not the same thing. So
yeah, you can receive two products with two really different serial number names. So that's not possible. You'll have to enter it manually. Yeah, but I think that's even the best way to. That would not be the best way to generate it automatically, because we cannot be sure that it will yes follow a sequence, and yes, if you miss something, or I don't know, I'm not sure that's the best way to work. But yeah, it's not something feasible with Odoo. You just have to simply record it manually or scan it, because it's also feasible to scan it with a scanner.
Would this be something feasible with customization? Let's just say that this Rahaf, for example, says, you know what, I want my serial numbers to be just like sequences.
Yeah, of course.
It would be possible, right?
It would be possible with advanced customization, but with automated action at the serial number. Yes, at the delivery order change or something, but it's not something we can do with the standard version of Odoo. Yeah.
Okay, I hope that answers your question, Rahaf. Okay, Maximilian, we got that. Damika, why Odoo not update puncher's price after received item? I don't quite understand the question. Do you understand that question?
Why Odoo don't update puncher prices after received item? What do you call punchers? Yes, It's the cost price, or is it the cost price, or is it the price set on the vendor in the product form in the vendor price list? Can you maybe give us
more details,
yes.
so that we can further understand the question? That would be awesome. My question, that we've done. Is there a way to remove the checked flag on the chatter when I create a new message on purchase order, for example? Is that checkbox with the customer email?
So in the let me just is it no so the check it's in the chatter.
Is he talking about the follower checkbox? So if you open the followers, there should be a. Oh no, there's not even. Yeah, there's not even a checkbox there.
But yeah, there. I mean, what is the question? So. Is there a way to remove the checked flag on the chatter when I create a new message on purchase order, for example? Yeah, that's the same thing as a sale order, the checked. I don't see the checked flag. Can you maybe is that checkbox with the customer email? I don't see I don't really see what you are talking about. Maybe can you give us more details?
The only check flag I see is in the inbox in the actual discuss application.
It's in the inbox, yeah. I don't know where it is because he was talking about purchase order, yeah. So let me maybe go to the purchase order, but it's exactly the same thing as a sale order, so date, of course, yes. No,
it's on Udo 10 community. Oh.
Sorry. Udo 10 community. On a purchase order, so let's go to the purchase order. No, it's not the purchase thing. Purchase. I'm the manager. That's weird. I cannot. Where are the purchase order in my?
Yeah, it's funny. I can't.
Yeah, that's the problem. The issue with the run bot. Something someone wants to try it. So let me just check with the debug mode. But that's. Nope. Check. I'm just gonna create a new menu. Purchase order. Create a menu. Of course, I did it in the wrong menu because I have a menu. Let me just install a menu. Okay, I can see it now in the dashboard. I don't know, I don't know why, but anyway. And this, when I create a new message, I don't see any flag. Do you see any flag there?
Go maybe above one of the messages. No.
No, I don't see any flag. And there neither, so...
Yeah, I really don't know. Could you come... I don't know. I have no idea.
No. Can you give us more detail? Because we don't see it in the standard version. Maybe that's a module you installed, or I don't know. We don't exactly know what you are talking about. So maybe you can give us more details because we don't find this checked flag in the chatter.
Yeah, so waiting for more details, World of T. Maximilian, got it, thanks. Pleasure, that's awesome. KTM, hi, good day to you too. We are using Odoo 11 Cloud. How we can do analytical account cost distribution for different departments? Is there any automatic cost distribution based on templates?
We are using Cloud. How can we do automatic analytic cost distribution for different departments? Is there any automatic cost distribution based on templates? Not really. So let me go back to the accounting and install the analytic accounting, because I think it's not installed yet. Analytic accounting. So when you make a vendor bills, you would like to use several analytic accounts. That's what I understood. So in the accounting, let me check the analytic accounts. So analytic accounts there. Yeah, and on the tag, I can only create some tags on the analytic accounts, but I don't know. No, in a purchase, in a vendor bill, I can the best way to do that is by actually defining, I think, multiple analytic tags, department by department, and split your invoice by tags. For example, if I want to department, yes, I don't know, marketing department, for example, so you can create tags there, 1 unit, 3 units for no, with yeah, 3 euros by units, and I want 4 units. And I can do the same thing. For example, if I buy a phone subscription, I can do it in the for the employees. I can create a tag on this analytic account. It's the same, but 50 euro, let's say. If I validate the journal entry, no, even in my analytic accounts. So if I go back analytic accounts there, in the cost and revenue, I can let me check.
Well, what I don't understand is why doesn't he just create different analytical accounts with the amount he needs for the total project?
Yeah, that's also a way to do it, but
because tags won't allocate different amounts. It'll just enable you to have a traceability of the different amounts according to the tag.
But sometimes you want, for the same line, you want to allocate the same amount to two different tags, or I don't know, 2 different departments, or you want to split. If you want to split the amount, you have to split the lines. But that's true. You can also create multiple analytic accounts if you want. Or some tags, because with the tags that's a different approach, and you can, for example,
you can search in the account afterwards by tag.
Not there, but yes, of course, if I in my analytic lines, I have the tags that contains employee, and I will only see one line, of course.
So for reporting, it's quite easy,
And then in the reporting, analytic entries. Maybe I can use the tags. I'm not sure. No, because it's a many-to-many, so that's not something. But once again, you can filter on the tags there with this filter. So I think that's the best way to solve your to use it in your case.
But to answer his question, there's no automatic cost distribution based on a template.
No, not yet. Not before we had analytic distribution. I think it was in version 8. I'm not sure, but we don't have this analytic distribution anymore.
Okay. That's something we could maybe discuss, see if it's necessary or not.
Yeah, maybe, of course.
Okay, well, I hope we answered your question, KTM. If you have more, don't hesitate. Okay, Manham Kalaria. Hello there, I have one application called Academy, and I want to show Academy as the website. Right now I have default website module installed, and I want to change it to Academy. How can I do? Okay, well, the only Academy app I found was for V6.
Okay.
6.1.
Yeah, but by default there is no Academy. Indeed, there is nothing I know about Academy. So maybe that's again a partner module or something you installed on your database, but that was maybe not done by ourselves. So that's not.
Well, could you give us more details about this app? Exactly what it does and where you got it from and so on. That would maybe help us.
But basically, if it's not a standard Odoo application, it's difficult for us to help you on that because we don't make support on the application.
And we basically don't know it.
Yes,
so kind of hard.
We didn't develop it probably, so that's why we cannot. Yes, we don't know it, and we don't want to make support on it because we don't know it. So it's a little bit more difficult. So. I'm pretty sure that's a community application that we installed, so that's difficult for us to help us. What you should do is to contact the third party who did the application. If you because
that's what we always advise. If you have issues with third-party applications, always contact the developer, and they'll come back to you because they developed the code. They'll know how to help you.
Yeah. That's the one you.
That's the only one I found. Yeah, and it's only available for V6.1. So
yeah, you should maybe contact the creator or this third party. I don't even know.
Odoo SA.
Yes, but it was for 6, so I'm not even sure what it does. So yeah.
Training courses, training sessions, attendee subscriptions.
Yeah, that's the module I can create with Odoo Studio, but
well, we're not going to do that now. It's going to take an hour.
If that's another module, but it was on version 6, and version 6 is like 10 years old. But yeah, maybe if it's another application, give us more details. But from what we know, it's not done by us and not supported. So.
So yeah, don't hesitate, guys. Don't hesitate to come back to us. If we ask you for more details, it's not because we don't want to answer anything. It's just because we need more to answer the question. Okay, so World of 10 community, we've done that. Info Next Marketing. Hello. Is there a guide to add a new field? Example, level of partnership when I create a new customer.
So,
fire away.
Yeah. So let me check first on the Odoo documentation if there is some. I don't think there is already a documentation done for Odoo Studio. Let me just check if we have something on the Odoo Studio. Not yet, but I can show you. So there is no documentation, but on the internet you can, on the YouTube session, you can find some demonstration. I'm sure I did it at the Odoo Experience. So if you go to our
tons of
website,
videos about this.
Yeah, we've a lot of videos about Odoo Studio. So really do not hesitate to check them. But I can of course show you how we can add a field, and I already shown it before. But you want to add a field to set
a level of partner. So
a level of partner. Yeah. Okay. So what I will do, so you have a level, yes, gold, silver. If you have different options to do that. You have two options. So if I go to the contacts, so on my customer number 1, I want to add a level of partnership. I think, but before doing so in Odoo Studio, don't we have a partnership module? Yeah. Let me install the partner geolocalization, because I think this is maybe a default field. Let me check.
For the level?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I think because that's not a module we use a lot, but I used a lot. Let me check. There is a partner assignation. No, there is no level of partner. I thought maybe there will be a field. Let me check contact. Let me activate the debug mode to check the field we have, but title website. I'm just checking partner share, not industry ID, message partner ID, that's not it, customer, no. I'm just checking if there is a field, TZ time zone, no, self, parent ID, commercial partner ID, partner longitude, no. There is no field, so I'm just gonna create it. You have two options. So with Odoo Studio, you just open Odoo Studio. You have two options for this field. Either you want a many-to-one or a selection field. The difference will be that with a many-to-one, it's easy to add some new values in the future. So that's maybe the best way to use it. You just choose a many-to-one field. So you go to this tab. You add a many-to-one field. Just there, for example, you create a new relation. It's a partner level. That will create a new table in the system. Okay. You confirm it. Sorry. And now, if you close Odoo Studio, you can, of course, create new value for this field. Yes, it was not really well designed, but it was quickly done. So it's a gold partner, for example, a silver one, or I don't know. Yeah, any value you want, you can select both of them there. Now in the contact, you can group by, of course. You can group by partner. What was the name of the field? It was partner level. Yeah, there. You see that I have one gold partner, and I can even
drag and drop
from one value to another. That's easy. Now if I check the vendor one, it's also a gold partner. And of course, you can with Odoo Studio, you can add a menu, edit the menu to make a new menu in the configuration. So for example, partner levels. So you can access all the values, and there I can choose my related model. I confirm it, and you will see that Odoo Studio will add a new menu that I can drag and drop into the configuration just below the contact tags. For example, if I confirm it, close Odoo Studio, and now check my configuration, I have a new menu with the partner level where I can create a new level if I want.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And obviously you can assign different price lists depending as well. I don't know what was the point of having different partner levels, but if it was, for example, a gold partner is allowed to have a 20% discount or whatever, well, you can do that as well with price lists.
Indeed.
Just explain the case a bit more in depth, and we can go further in depth. Right? Hi guys, there's a guy to that's yep. Anil Shah, which framework does Odoo use? Okay, not quite sure what he means there.
I don't know.
Do you know what he means there?
No, that's that's the kind of technical question you can ask in the
technical sessions. Yeah.
Yes.
This is a functional session, guys. So we're here to help with the functional.
Just while we are talking about next session, next week there won't be a live session. The week after we'll have, on the 12th of January, we'll have two functional sessions. One in the morning.
One in the afternoon.
Yes, one in the afternoon. And on the 19th, there is a technical session in the morning, I think. So, yes, just keep in mind all your technical questions and come back on the 19th. One of our technical colleagues will be very happy to answer all of them. Okay?
Okay. Hi. In multi-warehouse configuration, 1. Can I restrict access by warehouse? 2. Can I set default warehouse for a user in purchase and sale order? Actually, I use multi-company to manage this restriction, I guess. 1. Can I restrict access by warehouse?
Not really without multi-company. So if you have two warehouses for the same company, if one user sees one warehouse, he will also see the other one. That's how it works in the standard.
That's without multi-company. They wouldn't be possible.
So if you have two warehouses for the same company, the warehouse manager will see all the warehouses you create for the same company. Now, by default, if in a multi-company environment, if you have one warehouse in the company A and one warehouse in the company B, user of the company A won't see the warehouse of the company B. And
unless you give him the rights, but yeah, it's not advisable for that.
Because we have what we call record rules. So with the record rules on the warehouse, you see that we have a record rule for the warehouse multi-company, and we only see the warehouse which belongs to the same company I belong to, or the mother or to the child company I'm logged in. So that's the rule. Of course, just to finish with this question, we could also, with advanced customization, that's also an option to make the rule you want. So to assign some user for a warehouse and to create some record rules, but that's quite some advanced customization with the help of, that would be possible with the help of a consultant. But that would take too much time to do it right now. So.
Yeah, and for his second point, we actually did that. I think that was the first question we had today. Yeah. Can I set default warehouses for user and purchase and sale order? That is possible. As you can see on Ben's screen, his default...
yeah, so I'm just going to show my default value for quotation. It's the warehouse too.
And I'll show mine.
Yeah.
So I create a quote. And we're using mine as live support. Yeah. So we're using the same instance, and we set that up so that you had a different warehouse. You created a second warehouse, warehouse 2, and so you put it by default.
Indeed, I created a second warehouse there, and in my default, so I created the default value in the quotation, so let me show you it quite quickly again. With the developer mode activated, I can set a default. I set it, the warehouse number 2, it's not done then, but I use this default value there and set the second warehouse, and then in the settings, technical and user defined default, I can see that there is a default value for the warehouse linked to my user. Okay.
World of the check flag. Yes. Okay. There was the check flag. I think it's because of a community module he installed, so that would make sense. Yeah. Devendra, welcome. But destination should be able to know it is going to receive the product quantity in future incoming quantity case of using incoming quantity. Wait, I'm confused. Hold on. Destination should be able to know it is going to receive the product quantity in future incoming quantity case of using incoming quantity. So is he talking about reserving goods? The source location is not reduced until the picking is validated. Do you understand?
No, not really. So, are you talking about internal transfer, or are you talking about reception when you buy some stuff to your supplier? So, the product quantity in future. In case of using incoming quantity, the resource location is not reduced until the picking is validated. Indeed, it's when you validate the picking that the move is confirmed and that the quantity decrease in the source location and increase in the destination location. So the source and the destination location are decrease and increase at the same time. Yes, that's true. But if you are talking about an intercompany transfer or an internal transfer, simply, you can make it in 2 steps. So first step is to ship something out of your source destination to a let's say how to say that a transition location, and then second move from the transition location to the final destination location, another move. So you validated a first move from the source location to the transfer location, so you know that it is out of your source location, and when you finally receive it in your destination location, you validate the second move. That's also something you can do, and that's actually what we do with receive product in several steps. So we can decide to receive product in 2 steps. It goes first in a transition location, and then it goes to the final stock location in 2 steps. So that's something you can configure. But so we were not sure about the question.
We need could you be more specific for us to know exactly what you're talking about? That would be brilliant. Let's move on while waiting for that. When I create user with different company and try to create sale order and confirm it won't show me delivery order. Why is that? Hold on. When I create user with different company and try to create a sale order and confirm it won't show the delivery order. Why is that?
Yeah, I know. I think I know why.
You've had this case before?
I think so. That's because of a misconfiguration. Let me try to reproduce it. So I'm gonna create a second company, company B, there, and a warehouse for the company B. So if I so I created a second company, I will do it properly. So I'm gonna give me the rights to this second company, even if I am the administrator. Even if I'm the administrator, I have access to everything as the administrator. It's quite dangerous to use the administrator in a multi-company environment, but anyway, I'll try to do it properly. So in the company B, I have no access to the company B and the first company. Let me check in the warehouse if I refresh now the database. I should have I'm now in the company B, as you can see there in my screen. So if I go to the inventory and I check the warehouse, as the administrator, I can see everything. But Kiran, if you just show yourself.
What rights did you give me? Just company A? My company?
You only have access to the first company.
Okay. As you can see, I do not have the thing up here to be able to change company. And you can clearly see that there's 2 companies created.
And if you check the warehouse, you won't see the second warehouse for the company B, of course, because you don't have access. You only see the warehouse related to the company
that we created.
So now I created a second warehouse. No, it was not created. So I created a second company, and the warehouse was automatically created in this company. But I think this is an issue about routes, because routes, it's an advanced configuration. An advanced configuration, yeah, let me activate it. And routes are maybe still related to the first company you have. I'm not sure about it, but let's try to reproduce it. So maybe that's a misconfiguration you have. Configuration routes. So what does trigger the delivery order is the ship warehouse B ship only. It's activated, by the way. So I don't know if it was this. So you receive, you ship only. Okay, that's done. That's correctly done. Let me check. Buy. Yeah, normally that's created. Could you maybe, Kieran, I will give you the rights to the company B, and could you maybe try to create a sale order for the company B to see if the delivery order is created? But I think it should be related to the routes. Maybe something is not configured because I know we had the issue before. So I think that should be related to that. So
did you give me the rights?
Yeah, you have the rights now. Maybe try to create a sale order.
In company B?
Yes, in the company B.
Okay, refresh. As you can see, I have rights to both companies now. Right, I'm in company B. Let's create a sale order.
Yeah, there is nothing, but that's not
Save and close, confirm sale.
Yeah, you see the delivery, but I'm quite sure. No, the delivery, because I had the issue before, and I'm pretty sure that's related to the routes. Yeah, if you can you check the routes? Just a sec in the inventory. Yes. You should try. Yes, that was created, but you should try to see if in the second company you have access to all the routes. Maybe because there is maybe something related to this access. So try to log in the company B and access to the routes, and just check if the routes are configured correctly. Yes, and if you see all the routes, so the manufacturer one, if manufacturing is installed, buy one.
Because it could just be user rights problem as well.
And if you don't have access, ask to your administrator to give you access, so either to create the routes correctly or to change the access right or on the existing routes. So that could be a problem. And if you have any issue in your instance, just raise a ticket with the instance name, and the support team can also help you, because that's something we had in the past, I think. And I'm pretty sure this is related to rules. So if you are not sure about what you are doing, just raise a ticket to the support team and they'll help you.
And again, I can't stress this enough, but in a multi-company environment, we highly, what's the opposite of recommend? Oh, I had this yesterday. We highly advise you to avoid, that'll work, using the administrator and having the administrator see all the companies, because it's super easy to make mistakes, as you can see everything from every single company. So yeah, this was Devia. Yeah, it was Devia. So as we said, yeah, don't hesitate to create a ticket, and seeing as it's a known problem, we can, well, we've already come across this issue, we can resolve it fairly quickly. Anal Shah, hello, I have installed one application. Now I want to display that application to end user like website. How can I display that application? Are you asking about giving portal access, or because you can't really display applications as it is on websites. I'm not quite sure what you're trying to do. You can share your portal access to a certain user so they can see tickets and projects and tasks and stuff like that, but nothing else. If you want someone to have access to your applications, you have to invite them to be a user, basically.
Yeah, we have some application done developed for the website, like events, like shop. Of
Oh
course.
yes.
But
All related to e-commerce and
Yeah.
that sort of thing. But like when we're talking accounting, purchases, well,
indeed, you're totally right. So if the application is not done for the website, it won't be displayed, and yeah. So we don't exactly know your use case. If you just want to give access to the invoices or the sale order to some user, that's
possible.
yes, as Kiran
So,
said.
Anel, please come forward with your specific use case. What applications exactly would you like to show on the website and so on, so we can maybe help you with that. KTM, thanks for answering my question. Basically, our scenario is end of the year. We need to reallocate cost of shared department finance. This is back to the analytical account. To operational divisions based on their revenue, basically. End of year, we need to reallocate cost of shared departments to operational divisions based on their revenue.
Yeah, so I think it's still about, so at the end of, let me just read, end of the year we need to reallocate cost of shared department finance IT, sorry, to operational division based on their revenue. But if you want, you can still
There you go.
you can still in the accounting you can still let me just check analytic entries. You can create analytic entries if you want, but to decrease and to reallocate some cost from one analytic account to another.
Yeah.
That's maybe the best way to do it in your use case. But anyway, if you want to do it based on journal entries, you can still create journal entries at the end of the year by allocating some analytic account in the journal entries. Sorry, so you can still allocate some analytic account in the journal items, but basically, once again, the distribution, the analytic distribution is not available in the version 11. So if it's at the end of the year, you can simply create analytic entries manually, or you can also create journal entries and allocate some analytic account to reallocate costs. That's maybe the best way to do it in this case.
Wow, KTM is on fire. Don't have it yet. On purchase order, no. Okay, no, we've actually done that, haven't we? On purchase order, we need to add other charges like freights, custom duty, etc., and distribute the total cost of these charges to all the lines in PO based on proportion of quantity or price. How can I do this?
So, custom duty.
How would you do that?
So
On each individual order line.
yeah. So you want to add a cost on each individual lines. So it's not a global cost. It's a cost you add on all the lines.
The only way I can see you do that is add a sort of a custom tax in a way.
I don't.
That's not
maybe
very...
not a tax, but maybe more. Yeah, I don't know how you can do it. You cannot add price. The way we work with Odoo is just adding some products to the global purchase order. So in the line, add some freight product, custom duty product, but you don't distribute the total cost of these charges to the other product. It's just another product you add in the lines.
I guess you could create a delivery order. A delivery method.
No, it's
But that again won't take into account each individual.
No, yeah. There is no standard way to
do this.
set a charge, an extra charge on some several lines in the purchase order. That's not the way it works. The way it works would be to add all your products, all the products you want to purchase, to buy, and then at the end of the purchase order you have some product, a service product for example, or a consumable product that you don't want to keep track in your stock, and you add your extra charge in this line, but it's not allocated to any lines. It's just one line in addition to the
Yeah, it's just an extra line basically.
Yeah, yeah.
So in this case, you'd add freight and custom duty and stuff like that. And depending on the quantity, I'm guessing, okay, if you sell 2, you'd add 2 freight and 2 custom duty and so on, you know. So it's just creating a new product.
Exactly. The only way to avoid creating a new product is to do it manually and to add the price on every line. But I don't think that's the best use case for you.
Time consuming, no?
Time consuming. So that really depends. But yes, there is no standard way where you can set a price and that Odoo will apply this extra price to all the lines. And
yeah. So let us know if that's a possible workaround for you, and if you're happy with that. KTM again, Bartaba, hi mate. How can we import multiple journal entries from Excel into journal entry form?
Do you want to
fire away? I'm not super comfortable with the imports.
Okay, so the question is this one? No. How can we import multiple journal entries from Excel into journal entry form?
Yeah,
that's quite possible to do it. So the best way when you want to create an import template is to start from an existing record in the database and to export it. Actually, as you can see, we have already you can see on my screen, we have already two journal entry, one for the vendor bill and one for the invoice with a price of 0, but that was not done correctly. But anyway, and if I select it in the tree view, I can use an export functionality that is available. And there I have a first export type to choose, and you have to choose import compatible export data, of course. Okay. Then you have to select all the fields you want to export. So, for example, you want to, of course, to select the accounts you want to use. Okay. There you are on the journal entry level. So what's important in the journal entry, it's not maybe the accounts, it's about more the reference and of course the journal, the date, but also the lines, and that's called journal items. And on the journal items you can select the account. Let's select the debit and the credit. Okay. Now that it's done, you can choose your export format, CSV or Excel, and let's see what it does. So I have an Excel file created there that I'm gonna open. Yeah, and you can see that Odoo use some ID for the record, the many to one relation. So I'm gonna explain it. So the first column, Odoo always exports the ID of the record. You can just delete this file, and I'm gonna use this file to make to import a new journal entry. So, for example, test import. I'm gonna import a new journal entry with this reference. The ID of the journal, if I come back to Odoo, is so this field is this field, journal. And as you can see, Odoo does not export customer invoices. It exports an ID because this relation is a many to one. And that's why, because use an ID. So how can I find this ID? So in my file, so I have this weird ID, export account journal 1. How can I find the ID of another journal? For example, I can simply go to the journals in my database, select a journal, for example, the miscellaneous operation 1. By using the developer mode, I click on the small button there, and I can click on view metadata. There is not yet an XML ID because it was not exported yet. But if I export anything in this journal, Odoo will create automatically an ID for this miscellaneous operation. So I'm just gonna take this ID once again. So view metadata. Now an external ID is is created, and I can use it in my file. So I'm just gonna replace, and I'm gonna use the miscellaneous operation. I can change the date in 2080 instead. This is the account used in the lines. Okay, so the accounts used in the lines, that's there. See, if I go back in my journal entry, sorry, up, not in the miscellaneous operation, but it was this. So I had, it was this one. No, it was this one. I exported. So I had 2 lines. You see on the account 400, sorry, and in the default account, income account for Belgium. Okay, those are those 2 lines. There, the column D is the ID once again of the account, so that I can also find in the chart of account table by using the developer mode button. And this ID is the ID of the line. I don't need it. So, and there, credit and debit. I can make this entry, and you'll see that I'll be able to import it normally. So I'm gonna save it. Yeah, hopefully it's saved. And let's do it with Odoo. So if I import the file I just created, let's see if everything is correct. You can check if everything is correct there. You can still change. And if I test the import, you see that everything is valid. If I import my file, I have now a new journal entry in my miscellaneous operation with the same account, the debit and the credit, and so on. So that's really a file you can use to make your journal entry. And now if I want to create a second journal entry, I'm just simply copy paste this, but with another reference to make the difference. 2, for example. Let's say 3. Okay, let's save it. Yeah. Sorry, I'm gonna import, and it's gonna create normally 2 new entries. Test import 2 and test import 3. Okay, so that's how you can create a template to import any data you want. It works for any data in the system. So in the database, just be careful with the flow. You cannot import, for example, validated invoices because there is a flow behind invoices. So if you want to import invoices, that's a little bit difficult. You have to first import them in draft state, and then follow the process with Odoo. Okay. I hope this answers your question.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it should. So where were we? Thanks for basically.
We were there. So
can you please KTM again? Ooh, he's on fire. There he is.
Can you please show me how we can submit journal to workflow for manager reviews and post? What do you want to do? You want manager to review the journal entry? That's what you want to do? I'm not sure. But
yeah, maybe this is something that would be pretty simple to do with access rights. So you only give the manager access rights to your accounting module, for example.
But yeah, indeed, there is no standard workflow for the journal entry, if that's what you are talking about. There is no review of
before validating.
There is this is not standard. This is not like the expenses or leave where we have a default workflow to check for the manager before validating something.
Because our standard version takes into account the fact that generally companies or businesses have their accountant, and their accountant has access to all this and will review and will do the necessary, whereas other employees don't necessarily have that. And, yeah.
But indeed, if you are still talking about journal entries, you see that we have some status, so unposted and posted, that you can configure in the journals. So in the miscellaneous operation, if I let me check where can I edit it. I can. No, this is not Yeah, some entries are posted automatically and some are not. It depends on the flow you follow. So if you create by default a new entry, no, not a new journal, but a new entry, it's not gonna create. It's not gonna post it directly. It just posts it when there is a flow just before the,
when it's linked to a source document.
Yeah, exactly. There is a flow before, like for invoices, for example, you validate the invoice and then
they're posted.
The entry is already posted. But that's a tool to allow, yes, as Kiran said, to allow your accountant to post all the entries. So that's the flow basically.
So yeah, we answered that question. All right, 2 more from KTM before we move on to someone else. I created a journal entry of salary transaction and want to link with an employee so that I can generate a report to see how much that employee cost to the company.
I think
how can I do that? Would that be payroll?
No, I don't think payroll that's the best idea. I think that if you create a journal entry for your salary, that's perfect. You can just choose analytic account and create an analytic account for one employee, for example.
For each individual employee.
Or, yeah. And on the line, you set, or you just create an analytic account employee cost and with a tax with the employee, for example. So let me also show you. I don't know what are the accounts you use for salary December, for example. December, so you have, I don't know, you debit your bank account, you credit your bank account, do I have a bank account? Yes. You credit it from for 4,000 euro, and for example, you split your line. Do I have salary something? Yes, I will use this account, but I'm not sure it's the best account. And let's say that I split my salary for 2 employees. There, and then I can set analytic account there, for example, employee 1 and employee 2, for example. Okay. I post it, sorry, and then in the reporting analytic entries. Yeah, you see that I have a cost of 2,000 euro for my employee and so on. So I think that's the best way to.
That's probably probably the best way. Yeah. All right, back on to KTM's last question. If I create an employee app, is there a way to create that employee and department combination automatically in analytical account, like how projects are created automatically? So he wants the analytical account to be generated automatically at the creation of the employee. I don't think we do that, do we?
Not in standard, once again, but with the help of a consultant and automated action, we could do it.
So yeah, if not, can we customize to achieve this? Yes, you can. It is something that's customizable.
But once again, it will take at least a few hours to do it. Not a few hours, but it can go fast. But that's not something we can show right now because we don't want to spend too much time. Yeah, and we don't want to use all the time remaining for this question. But if you're a consultant, KTM, just ask him an estimation. You can check with the technical team, or he can even maybe do it himself if he can, see if it's possible. So yeah, that's something. It's possible to customize, yes, but we cannot show you right now.
Okay. Matthias Lorenzo, hello. Well, hello back to you. Abdi Razak. Sorry if I mispronounced that. How can I make cost adjustments when we use real prices as costing methods?
So,
far away.
Yeah, okay. So you use real price as a costing method, and you want to make cost adjustment. But so let me just check. What if you just can explain what do you want to say with cost adjustment? So let me just check in the product if something like that is installed in the category. So, sorry. So you use average cost, the real price. What do you use?
Real price, I think, was in V10 representation of first in, first out.
Yeah.
So it took the real cost of each product at the end.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
And by the way, I have
You have an error message.
security restrictions
On the sale order?
on settings of sales.
Okay. Let's try to check
After
it
that.
later. So yeah, if I change the, maybe I'm gonna create a new category or real.
So I'm guessing, by the way, you are in V10. If
Maybe it's in V10. Yes, indeed.
I'll quickly check on Runboss.
Or can I make cost adjustment when we use real price as a costing method? So real price means that, as you can see in the tooltip, so the products are valued, supposing those that enter the company first will also leave it first. So it means that standard price means that you use the standard cost defined on the product in the field. The average cost, it means that every time you receive a product with a new price, the cost price is computed again with the average price. So if you first receive one product costing you 20 euros, and then you receive a second product with a cost of 30 euros, you've got a total of 50 euros for this product for those two units. So the average price is 25. And the first in, first out, it takes, so the real time, it takes the price of the last product received, I think. So let me just check what I say, just to explain to the others. So I'm gonna create a second product 2, sorry, that I receive. Let me change the category, of course, real price, that's it. And I'm gonna purchase this product, create a quick quotation. So let's say that's my product number 2, create price 10, and I'm gonna purchase 2. Confirm order, and I receive the product, validate, yeah, I apply. Okay, now if I go back to my product number 2, let me check inventory, sorry, purchase. The price has been defined there in the vendor prices, and if I check the inventory valuation, no. So of course my inventory should be with a value of 20, because I bought 2 times, and it's based on the quant. So it's really based on the last product received and on the product received. So the cost price is based on the product received. Now what do we want to do? You want to make a cost adjustment. So you want to change the value of the inventory. Actually, that's what you want to do, if I understand correctly. I'm not sure to understand correctly what you want to do, but if I check, because this is based on the quant, so let me check. 2 on hand, yes.
I'm guessing you could do this by doing an inventory adjustment.
Yeah, but let me create one product category, for example, real price, save. If I start this, I cannot change the price there because there is no price. Yes, this is not really price. The way we change the price is to make a purchase order. So yeah, the only way to do that is to change the value of the stock move that we used. Let me maybe check if that's something we could do. Transfers. I received this one in the lines there. Where is the? Yeah, I'm not sure we can easily do that actually because it was already done.
So yeah, without canceling the PO or doing an inventory adjustment and creating a new PO,
Yeah,
that's
indeed.
not really possible, is
Yeah.
it?
Indeed.
And yeah, it is indeed in V10 as well, because I have the real price here. But we changed that to people because that is the logical way of keeping the real price. It is whatever item you bring in at whatever price, it will be sold at that exact price.
So indeed, as Kieran said, I think the best way is to do an inventory adjustment, decreasing the stock you have in your stock, and then canceling the purchase order you did, and do it again with
Create a new
with
PO with the correct price.
with the correct price. Yes, because that's
Now, again, if this sort of case is recurrent for you, maybe the real price isn't the best option.
yeah,
You know.
Because yes, real price really takes the price you have in the purchase order. So it means that if you have a stock issue, it means that something somewhere in your purchase order you made a mistake somewhere because it's really related to the purchase order you make. Sorry. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Okay. How can I connect analytical accounts to POS? Yeah, we haven't installed POS yet.
Sure, it's not installed.
Okay, hold on.
Maybe switch to your screen.
Done. Yes. Point of sale.
Yeah.
Installed.
Installed. Do you refresh? Did you
Point.
refresh? Can you refresh? Maybe.
Fingers crossed.
Oh, that's weird. Let me check it.
Okay, that is very odd. Oh, I don't have the access rights.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, of course. Let me give you the access to the point of sale here. Point of sales manager. Yeah. No, you should have access.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I actually have a question concerning this. Let's just say I have point of sale without the application accounting. It would in no way be possible to have an analytical account.
No,
right?
because analytical accounting is linked to the accounting application.
Indeed. But with I need to create accounts in a chart of accounts to post a loss, for example, in the point of sale without accounting. Is that possible as well?
So you want to post a loss?
Yeah, let's say I open a a session.
Yeah.
Okay. Which I don't have the rights to do for some reason. Okay, let's do this on your screen.
Yeah, maybe. This is the kind of issue we can have by using the administrator as this is because I think the point of sales main is linked to the company B
or
no, it's
company
linked
B.
to company B.
It's
Yes,
like
it's linked to company B.
I was in company B though. Okay, that's very odd. Okay.
Yeah, anyway, for the analytic account question, so there is no how to say way to link an analytic account to a post session. So that's not really how it works. So you would like all the sales that are related to one point of sale goes to the same analytic account. Yeah. So we have some issue with the payment method and so on. So create and edit cache. Let's say cache save. Let me go back to this session. So let's set the product one with the customer number one, set customer. Okay, I want to make the payment. I want to make it in cash. Customer one. Okay, that's I want to validate the payment. I want to validate. Okay. Yeah, the chart of account is not installed for my company one, so that's B. Let me. Yeah, it's not that's the way we did it quite quickly with the administrator. So and in the company B, that was not the best way to do it, the best idea. But anyway, if I create a point of sale for my second company with some payment method, payment method, let's try to cache for the company B, save. Okay. Now I can decide to make invoicing from this post, and then let me go back to the post. So as the administrator, I can see all the settings, payment method, cash. Hopefully, it's not created correctly. Card, let's say create card. Card. Yeah, configuration with the administrator in a multi-company environment is not once again the best way to do it. I have to close this session.
We should avoid multi-company questions as being the first question.
Yeah, indeed. So now using the second session, I can, if I make the same process, so I buy product one, I set a customer one, set customer, I make the payment, I buy card, I want an invoice for this. I select the invoice. Okay, it's validated. Hopefully it's gonna work. Yeah, the invoice is created. I can cancel it. Now close the session. But indeed, I don't think there will be an analytic account linked to this invoice. Let's check. Customer one. There is no analytic account indeed. So I don't know the question. This is a good question, and I really have no idea about it. If that's something we can do with configuration, I'm not sure that analytic account, no, it's not, not analytic account on the product, on the customer neither, I think so. Customer one, analytic account, I don't think we can. Let me just check again. No, that's not no. I don't think that's something we can do. But once again, with some customization, but not in the standard version.
So with customization, this is feasible.
Yeah, indeed. with the customization at the invoice creation in a post. We could add an analytic account on the post and make this analytic account used in the invoice coming from the post sessions. But
I'm just trying to see the logic behind of why you would need an analytical account for a particular post session. Yeah. Okay. Well, so in conclusion, it's doable with custom.
Yeah. I wanted to check first if it was something we could do with the configuration, but it doesn't seem to be the case. So you can just ask your consultant to make some customization / development.
Okay, so that we've done. Zola, Bacala, hey guys, Odoo rocks. Yeah. Awesome. Is it possible to display project model as a website to external user? So this would be granting someone portal access, in which case it is possible.
Yeah.
How would I give an example of this? I'd have to create another user and give them access.
Yeah, you can use an address. I'm gonna give you some other address.
Or I can use demo.
No, you can use. You can use odoo.demo.user@gmail.com.
Okay. Hold on. So I'll create a new contact. So this is a portal test.
Perfect.
Email address being, what did you say?
odoo.demo.user@gmail.com.
There we go. Save. Now,
project is not installed.
Yes, I did install it, but do I have the? Can you check if I have the correct rights and stuff?
Settings, users.
Just quickly checking if we have the correct rights.
Yeah, you
I do. Okay. So let's create a project. Project name, test. Choose a project email. Test as well. Create. Okay. Should we create a task?
Yeah.
Task. Assigned to. Okay. Hold on. Don't I need to assign it to my new?
No, the customer could be the extra information. The customer could be.
Here we go. Yeah. Okay. And here's the customer. There we go. Okay. Save. Now, where is the portal management? Is it in website?
Yes, you can give me access to the portal by going to my contact and just say.
Is it on the contact? I give
yes,
you the.
You can send me an invitation from the contact.
Yeah, action. Yeah, that's true. Jeez, I do this on a daily basis. Apply. There we go.
Apply, and with my other user, I should receive an email.
So we saw we created this and gave him portal access, and we created a project and a task with you as a customer.
Maybe you can now switch to
Did you get the invitation?
Yeah, I get the invitation on my application, so I can just go to this. I'm just signing in. Okay. And now if I don't have access to the let me check if the configuration so dashboard, sorry, up portal, because it should be customer portal is installed indeed. And let me check if in the project settings everything was done correctly. Settings, following customer. Let me check Let me save this. But it's okay. The task is assigned. Add followers. It's add the folder customer.
It's portal test.
Now is follower of this task. Let me no. Still nothing. That's quite weird. Let me check there. Yeah, I have access to follow this task. Perfect, but I have nothing. My account. No, I have no document. Let me just check again if in the there I should be able to add followers.
Why do I have a feeling there's a multi-company issue going on here?
Maybe yes. It was not in the company.
What did I do it in? I did it in live support.
Okay. So and let me check the there is probably a setting that's not done correctly, but let me check.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right.
So yes, now I have access to the task because actually the privacy was set on visible by following customers.
And Mohamed actually just noticed that.
Okay. So and now the customer is set, and then yes. In the portal, you know have access, and you can even chat with employees of the company through this chatter and see everything you need in the chatter. Okay, in the portal.
So I hope this answers your question, Manan. Manan comes back. I know Odoo developed on Python, but I could not seem to find which framework or any third-party support that Odoo uses. Can you tell me what kind of framework does Odoo uses? As we said, we're here as a functional support and not technical. When did you say the next technical session was?
On the 19th.
On the 19th of January.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So for all technical questions, make sure to be here on YouTube on the 19th of January. Is it morning or afternoon?
I think in the morning, in the afternoon, but not sure yet. So in the morning, I think it's sure.
We'll definitely tweet about this at a closer date to keep you updated. But yeah, we don't know the answer to that question, I'm afraid. Can you show me, this is GP Falls asking a question, can you show me how to set up eBay connector for non-US currency or non-US eBay sites? Can you do that?
Not that I can. No, because the eBay configuration is quite long and quite complex to do. So I don't think I'll have time to show it. Maybe with your issue, because from what I can understand, you could yes install eBay and make the configuration. You just have an issue with the configuration, from what I can understand. So maybe just use the support channel, the help channel to ask your configuration question, because I cannot show right now how to configure eBay, because it takes yes a little bit too much time. Send your specific issue to the support and.
I'm just wondering if we have documentation on that.
I think we have.
Would it be API?
No, I think we have eBay documentation.
Just double checking quickly, bear with us.
And documentation. Yeah, we have. Do you see my screen?
Yeah, it's your screen.
So
that's
it's
on.
in French, sorry, but we also have it. I don't know. I'm sorry, but that's weird that we don't have it in. Let me check how do user. It's in the sales maybe. eBay, yeah. How to configure eBay in there. There it is in English. So you can find some documentation in the on our website. And if you have a specific use case that you cannot configure, just ask our support.
Yeah, don't hesitate to get back to us if you have issues setting it up. Though normally the doc should be enough, hopefully. But if not,
because I already did it for one customer following the doc. So
so it should be perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, great. Good to know. Good to know. So where were we? I made a mistake during creating a field in Auto Studio repair module. I add mistake text in domain. Now the system shows error 500 and totally stop. How can I solve this?
If you still have access to some part of your database, you can solve your issue by just removing what you've done in the view. So I can show you. If you don't have, if you totally lost the access to any page of your database and any menu, you have to contact the support. If it's not a test database, if it's a test database, maybe just create a new one and just remove it. But in the database, if you still have access to the settings of your database, you can go to the settings in the technical. So with the developer mode activated, in the technical menu, you can find all the views there. And then if you search on Odoo Studio, you'll see the views created by Odoo Studio. You'll probably have a view related to the model you've changed. Just check the view and just unactive it, or remove the part where it's from. So you should have a domain somewhere related to the field you've created with Studio. So you can just manually remove what you've not properly done, and that should work. If you lost the access, just contact the support.
Yeah, that's only if you actually have access to the settings.
Yeah.
So yeah, let us know, Mohammed, if you manage to sort it out that way. KTM coming back. It's been a while. How to restrict a Ledger account and Charter account to a particular user or user group to post transactions.
No, that's not standard. Once again, because if a user can see an account and post an entry on an account, he can post the entry on any account available in the chart of account. Just not talking about multi-company, but if you have one company, if you have access to one account, you can make entries on any account you want. No, if that's really something you need, and really something, I think that's not a big issue with Bayern yet. But if that's really something you need, ask your consultant to customize and to make customized record rules to restrict the access. But that's record rules. It's quite tricky, so it can be complicated, and it can take lots of time to do special things, and we have to think further than just that, because
we can impact.
Yes, it can impact flows and so on. So that's quite dangerous to do so. So if you really need, I would advise not to do it. But if you really need it, just ask your consultant, because it can be tricky, and
Okay. So let us know about that, KTM. Gregory, hi guys. Hello, right back to you. KTM again, and thanks for showing me how to import journal. That would help us to work on reallocation of costs in Excel and can be imported easily as journals. We do simplify this process. Well, I'm really happy. I'm happy this helped you out. I mean, hey people, hello to you. Like, nice live, guys. Good job. Thank you very much. I mean, Odoo is awesome tool, no doubt about it. And then we have retracted messages. I don't have access.
Mohamed, about so he lost.
Oh yeah, the error 500.
The-
Well, what do you not have access to? Do you not have access to technical settings and the views in the settings, or your entire database, or
So if you don't have access, there is nothing we can do for you right now. You can just
contacting the support?
yes, contact the support. But if it's a database you don't really use, just forget it and create a new test database. It really depends on the kind of database. Well, but yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
you can contact our support. They'll try to help you.
All right, KTM. Is it possible to default an analytical account for a ledger account? So that user has a default in journal entries.
Let me check if there is a link to the analytic account in the chart of account, but I don't think so. Journal entries. Sorry, the chart of accounts. Where is my chart of accounts? Sorry. Capital. So there is no analytic account field on the journal. So what you want to do, if I correctly understand, you want that when you create some journal entry on a specific account, you want to use an analytic account by default. Let me check. So set default. Is there an analytic account there? Analytic account. Employee 1 when van. No. Set default. So what you can do is set a default analytic account with the default functionality I showed
In developer mode.
Yes, in developer mode I showed before. That's the first thing. So anytime I'm gonna create a new analytic entry, so it should take this account. Let me check if it works. No, from the journal entry. Yeah, you see the employee account, the analytic account is set, but we should set a condition where the account, for example, if this account is used. So the capital account is used. Let me check. And that's quite technical, so the field account ID should be the ID of the account is the ID number 2, as I can see in the URL. And then let me show you, so I can maybe, and that's the field account ID, I think. Yeah, let me check if I can quickly do it, but I'm not sure it's gonna work, because condition on account ID
Equal
to, but I'm not sure it's gonna work. Yeah, let me check.
Again, this isn't something standard. It's something really quite technical.
Yeah. Yeah, but the value, no, my default value does not work because the account is not done by default, but then the analytic account is not changed when I select an account, so that's not really, how to say, yeah, that's not working like that. Again, that's something really specific to your business, and if you need it, your consultant can do it with an automated action, and if with a small automated action that could be done, but yeah, with the default value it does not work. You can set a default value that you can remove, yes, but with the condition it does not work because it's just at the creation, and at the journal entry creation there is no account already set, so the default value is not applied. Okay.
Mohammed, system totally stopped. I can't access. I can access files. Can I change it from files? Where can I do? Where can I find studio views? As Ben just said, well, he showed it like 10 minutes ago or something like that. Make sure to be in developer mode, and your studio views will be in the technical settings and your views.
But in the database file, I don't know where you can.
Oh, in the actual dump.
Yeah. I
oh,
think so.
Are you talking about the dump of the database? The
Yeah.
actual. That's I actually have no idea if
No.
that's possible.
Me neither. So I cannot help you. That becomes quite technical.
Do you maybe have a backup of this database prior to when you messed it up? I don't know. It seems quite.
I don't know where you can find the views in your file, but that's a question you can ask to the support again, because I think the technical guy should be able to answer this question, or simply ask us to ask them where we can find, because from a functional point of view, we never go to the
actual core file. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
All
that
right.
was actually the last question we have in the chatter, Kiran. So, if you have any other question, feel free to ask.
We have half an hour left,
Yeah.
so make the most of it, guys.
We're still
Before 2018, come on, get your questions in.
KTM again.
Yeah. Well, thanks for
You're
being
back.
here.
Yeah,
He's giving us ammo. Is it possible to use subscription code of Odoo 11 Enterprise SaaS on Odoo 11 Enterprise on-premise version? Is it possible? How can I download Odoo 11 Enterprise on-premise without buying it? That's not possible. Basically, when you use Odoo 11 on SaaS, it's hosted on our versions and you don't have access to the code. When you buy the Enterprise version on-premise, you can have access to it. There's different ways of having access to it. Let me quickly show you. So the first way would be /page/download here. But this, again, requires a subscription code, an enterprise, an on-premise version. So you'll have access here. Or you can have access via GitHub. Those are the two ways. But the reason why you would want the actual code is to modify it, do customizations, and so on, and have access to third-party apps and so on. So, when you're hosted on online, you don't do this yourself. If you see what I mean, you don't need to do pull requests and stuff like that. You don't need to modify the code as it's on our servers and so on. Whereas Enterprise gives you more freedom with that respect. That's why on SaaS you don't have access to the code. If you have further questions related to this, don't hesitate. And as I said, 29 minutes left, guys. So.
So if there is no question left, we can maybe switch back to the flow we started with.
The multi-company flow?
Maybe, I don't know.
Actually, I started it off.
You started.
So all the access right problems are my fault.
Maybe that's because of you, yeah. I don't know. Maybe Patrick has a question, so yeah.
Patrick.
Just ask your question.
Yeah, fire away. We're here. Wait, what's the address of the database again?
It's live support.
Got it. 2912. I have an issue launching the scheduler.
Okay.
Could you be a bit more specific as to what the issue as to what the issue is?
Yeah. Is it about make to order or reordering rules? I don't know.
Alright, let's go on your screen. Alright. Just casually waiting for Patrick to give us details.
When running it, no PO is received. So no work order neither. So you mean manufacturing order? So indeed, with Odoo reordering rule or routes, you should be able to run the scheduler and create a PO depending on the rules you have and so on. Are you using it with reordering rules or just based on make to order flow? Because yes, you say that yes reordering rules or yes make to order. You have a rule.
Reordering
Okay.
rule. Okay.
Let me try if in my database I can do it. So let me first create a product to manufacture. Let's say okay. It's a stockable product, and the route defined in the inventory should be not buy but manufacture. That's the first thing to check. So if it's manufacture, and the second thing to be sure. So the second thing to be sure is to create a bill of material. Of course, let's say that this product will be composed of product 1 and product 2. Okay. So I will manufacture this product. So I manufacture it, and I have one bill of material for this product. So now what's still missing is the reordering rule. If I create this reordering rule and set a minimum quantity, I still want to keep 5 units, minimum 5 units and maximum 10 units. If I save it and run the scheduler, we should see a manufacturing order created for 10 units. Let's see if I can make it. So in the inventory, in the scheduler, operations, run scheduler. Okay, it's done, and my manufacturing order is created. So the scheduler is working. 3 things to check for you, Patrick. First thing is my product route correctly configured, so the route should be manufactured. Second thing, the bill of material is correctly created. And third thing is my rule correctly created. I don't need an order because it's based on a reordering rule, so it's really based on what I have in my stock. I said in the reordering rules that I always want to keep at least 5 units in my stock. So if the forecasted quantity of my product is below the minimum quantity set in my reordering rule, Odoo will trigger a procurement for this product, and based on the routes defined in my product, Odoo knows that we have to produce it. So that's why a manufacturing order is produced to reach the maximum quantity set in my reordering rules. So no need of order, because it's the route is not make to order. It's simply based on the reordering rules. So it's make to stock actually. Okay, so if you use the routes, just to be clear about that, if you use the routes make to order, so if I change the route in my product to make it a make to order product, indeed I will need an order. Then it means that every time I need this product, I will manufacture it. And now if I confirm a quotation for, I don't know, for 3 units, if I confirm my quotation, know that the route is make to order, it should probably, normally it should create another manufacturer with 3 units, because the route has been changed. But if the route is not make to order, you don't need an order.
Yes. When using Odoo ERP Online version, what happens when losing internet connection? Is there an option to use it during this time locally and synchronize later when connection is working again? No. That's, I wouldn't call it a downside, but I would say it's fairly logical that if you're using our servers, the only way you can access your database is through an internet connection to reach to our servers. And you can't just use it on yours and then synchronize with ours later. That's not a possibility using online. This is doable using the on-premise version though of Enterprise, if ever. It's something you absolutely need. You might want to consider that. Back to Patrick.
Patrick had a configuration issue. So,
And you just solved it.
Yeah, so enjoy the new year too,
Bye,
Patrick.
you too, yeah. Happy New Year. See you in 2018. Mohammed is coming back with a question. Can we update Odoo Studio to V2 in Odoo 10 version?
Yeah, V2, you mean the Odoo Studio available in version 11, I guess?
On V10?
Yeah, but no. Unfortunately, no. You'll have to migrate all your code.
Yeah,
to
the whole
version 10 to the version 11 to be able to use Odoo Studio with the version 11 code. So,
Mm-hmm. I don't know how the scripts are doing actually. When the migrations will.
I think it's not completely done yet.
But soon, right?
But soon, yeah.
Mhm,
It should be soon, yeah.
But yeah, the answer to your question is you cannot just migrate one application and you keep all the rest in a previous version.
Mm-hmm.
It's all or nothing basically.
Yes, Farzam, you have another question, but this works for point of sale, right? Do you mean the make to order things or
The sessions. No, he was talking about using ERP online but not having an internet connection. From memory, it does work with
But
POS.
if you don't, actually you can use the
But you need
POS,
initially an internet connection to open the session, and you need an internet connection to close the session.
Mhm.
You don't need an internet connection while it's open.
Mhm.
I think that's
when you open the session you need it, and when you close it you need it. Yeah, indeed.
but not between time. I thought.
No,
Pretty sure.
That's correct. Yes.
Why? Well, explain us your specific case as to what you're looking to do. Farzam. 20 minutes left, guys. Until 2018 sessions begin.
So yeah, feel free to ask your last question for this session, if you have so. If not, that's not an issue, but feel free and use this opportunity.
All right.
Yeah, let's see, because I think I won't anyway have the time to
Do the
the
what is it? The PO
intercompany
generating an SO.
we have another question.
Whoa,
from
KTM is here to save the day.
Yeah.
Currency exchange difference. Where do Odoo post? Is there a place to configure your account for that? In your chart of accounts.
Yeah, and in the accounting configuration.
Yeah.
There is my
show
screen is displayed. So if you go to the accounting configuration, let's open the configuration. If I set the multi-currency, I can already define a journal for the multi-currency for the currency differences. Actually, so that's the first thing to do. So I can choose the journal. Let's Odoo load this configuration. And then, okay, when you have multi-currency differences, let me check. So if there is currency, up. No, because it's done in this journal. No, what do you want to do? You want to use a specific account. You want to currency exchange. Where do Odoo post? Place to configure account for that. Yes.
And if you have an issue with the difference, you can still, so in the reconciliation, because I guess this is in the reconciliation, because for example you expected to receive 1,000 euro, and due to the change of the currency you only receive 990 euro, for example. So you can define in the reconciliation screen, you can define where you want to receive, where you want to put this difference. If it's done automatically, I think there is an account in the chart of account exchange. Yeah, it's in it's in French, so yeah, I don't know where it is done in French, but yes, there is a there is an account for the exchange difference in this, an expense account and an income account if needed. Okay.
KTM, I hope that answers your question. Satya is coming up with a new question. Is it possible to create products' expiry dates and track it? Yes, this is possible. So I've actually just done it while you were explaining. So I created a new product called Grapes. All right. I put it as a consumable to be able to have an expiry date on it. And where did I put it? I put the traceability tracking by lots. Okay, what this means is, for example, when I purchase some of these grapes, I receive a lot of 200 grapes. I'll be able to decide where this lot goes, warehouse or place, location, whatever, and I'll be able to put an expiry date on it. Generally, is it? I'm kind of confused. Is it possible when you do sale orders on these products to make sure that the earliest expiry date is the first one sold?
Yes.
That's not first in, first out, though.
It depends on the warehouse configuration. So you can set this configuration in the warehouse.
Okay.
So depending on your warehouse, you can decide whether you want to deliver first the first product in or the first expire. Yes, with the
where am I? I'm in live support, so let's put this one. Pick and ship. Is it in technical?
No,
is it here?
It's not there. Let me check because it's. I'm sure. It's maybe in the location. Sorry. Yes, it's not on.
This warehouse stock.
Yes.
Removal strategy. Yeah. Here it is. So last in, first out. First in, first out.
Yeah, but what do you want to do?
I want depending on the expiry.
It's because the expiry dates are not configured in the settings. Yes, we have to. I think so.
Let's check this out. Bingo.
Yeah.
You're right. So if we save this, we'll have the option.
The option to let me save it for you because. Access right with multiple. We did it too fast, too quickly. The configuration.
Did you do it?
Yeah, it's loading on my screen. And so you'll get a third option, I think, in the removal strategy with the first expiry, first out, I think. And so yeah, you should have.
That makes sense. Yeah. And Satya's coming back. How to manage this in POS? We don't really manage this in POS. Like the point of POS is a bit like when you go to any store. You know, you have your point of sale, and people go and bring what they want to purchase to you. You scan, register, and leave. It's not. You're not going to decide for the customer. Wait. You should take those grapes and not those grapes, for example, if you see what I mean. This is how Odoo functions with POS. So
if you want to really keep track of the first expiry, first out, you have to use not the POS but the backend functionality in the sales from a sale order, and Odoo will suggest the lots number you have to take, but the post Odoo does not suggest, as Kieran
and
said.
there it is.
Yeah.
FFO. First expire, first out. So yeah, if you configure your product as consumable, trace it by lots, and put this, it'll do exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah. And when you create the lots number or the serial number, you'll be able to set an expiry date on the lots number.
Maybe I should.
Yeah, maybe that will be a.
Let's create a PO for us.
Good idea.
Let's receive some. We're on my screen, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
There we are. All right, let's receive some grapes, and we want 20 of them at a unit price of 0. Free grapes. As you can see here, I'll have to design a lot. All right. So serial number. Let's do 20.
What do you want to do?
Did I not put expiry dates on it?
No, it's done. But go if you go to the lots.
Hold on.
Inventory, yes. Operations. Oh, it's a master data.
Lots. Yes, here they are.
And there you can set a.
Here's where you do it, yeah. So you have a best before, removal, end of life date. So this is best before is your expiry date. Different dates you can put on, and by doing this, so for the lot of the 20 grapes we just did, your best before date will be, let's just say, the 1st of January, New Year. All right. By doing that, you know that the 20 you just received, their expiry date is the 1st of January. But this will not be represented in POS if you decide to sell grapes on POS. As we said, it uses a different system. So if you need to use this, use it in the back end.
Yes, Fazam came back with the issue, and the reason of his question is that they have a warehouse selling locally, and they are thinking about the cloud version. So if the connection is lost, for some reason the workflow will stop. But yeah, I mean, yeah, if it's in the cloud and if you access it with a connection, if you lost the connection, the flow is lost. But as Kieran said, for the POS, you just need
you need to open and close.
Yeah, open and close.
That's for POS, yeah. Where are you?
And then second question is: do we need a screen design for adjusting the design of Odoo, or are the standard option for color and log we can define?
Is this for POS?
I don't know if it's for POS or for the website. For the website, we have some themes available. There you can define the default colors and so on. For POS, yeah, that's not feasible to change it without designing it. And I would say just don't do it, because it should take a lot of time, and if it's just for design,
it's fine as it is, really.
It's not for POS. It's maybe for the website and the reports. So for the reports, it's customization. For the website, we have some themes available that you can test on the Runbot, or you can install a new database. Or yes, in the apps, you can see that we have some theme. Let's say yes, for example, theme that I can install, Graphene and so on, that you can install on the website. And then yes, the website application is there. If I go to the website, yes, you can edit it, you can customize it, and so on. But the theme selected, the theme will be applied in the website, and yeah. So that's the way you can choose your colors and so on. So yes, we have several themes. What I would suggest is that you test them. and then that will make the trick. Okay.
Also possible to adjust custom themes of ourselves? Not really.
I mean,
if you go into the HTML, open
but it really depends. The theme is quite complex, so yes, of course, you can do it because we can design themes. So with technical knowledge and advanced technical knowledge, you can do it because we can also customize theme for specific customers and so on. So
yeah, but the problem in that case would be if ever you do mess something up in the customization,
Indeed.
we can't just fix it for you.
Yeah.
That's the problem. If you keep a standard, we'll fix whatever. But if you start fiddling around in code and stuff to customize your own theme, then we can't fix it if ever you screw it up. If you see what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Did we miss something?
Yeah, maybe Satya, just to finish, is there any notification email of this for the lots number and the expiry date?
From memory, there is. You can get a notification, can't you? Or not?
No, I don't think so. Well, it depends. When do you want to receive a notification? But what Odoo will do is just suggesting the first in, first out when you deliver the product. So if Kiran sells the grapes,
if I come here and sell the grapes, well, I should first I'll buy a second lot of grapes to show what I mean. Vendor grapes. There. Let's buy another 20. Okay, confirm. Receive products. What did I put GR2 this time? And we've done 20. Validate. Did I not just do that? I thought I just did. Oops. There we go. Confirm, validate. Okay, now I will put the expiry date for this one on the 5th of January. So 4 days later after of my previous one. Did I define FEFO as... No. So I should probably... There we go. First expiry, first out. Okay, just going to make sure. Expiry date is the 5th there and the 1st here. Alright. Now I'll create a sale order. Let's create one for myself. And I want to buy 10 grapes. Oops. Save and close. Confirm sale. If I go to the delivery order, what will it do? Oh, balls, discard. Sorry, excuse my French.
The dot is not no.
Wait, where is it? Wait, I validate this first?
No. This is because it's not a stockable product.
Lot. There we go. Oh.
But this is because it should be a stockable product.
And I put it as consumable?
Yeah, I think so. But if you define...
If I trace by lots, yeah.
If you define when you reserve and you check the availability in your delivery order, Odoo will select the lot for you and will suggest you
the lot
the first
automatically.
Yeah. Make sure to use a stockable product for this because you want to keep track of the stock and.
I messed up here simply because if we look here, I put it as consumable.
So just change and it's gonna work. Yeah.
Normal.
You have to validate it first, but anyway,
if you do the test, you'll see it'll work.
Yeah, because yeah, I think
We're kind of running out of time here.
Yeah, we just have 2 more questions. Can we personalize dashboard in modules like accounting dashboards? Not really. Personalized dashboards, that's difficult. If that's the kind of dashboard you want to customize, if you don't want to see the name there or the button there, it's quite difficult to change. So like that, I would say no. Yeah, it's still possible, but that's
well, anything's possible.
So,
with,
but I mean, that's a lot of work for details. I think so. So, and the last question, Satya, was how to use point of sale customer screen in Odoo 11 Postbox and change the image. So from what I can understand, you want to change the image in your post point of sale.
That's not really possible either.
No, that's not something we can easily do. So in the standard version, I would say so. This is the default screen, and you cannot really customize it. So so that's what we did in the standard, and I think that will be possible once again, but a lot of works and not really. Yes.
It really depends how important this is for you. If it's really important, it's doable and will demand quite a certain amount of time of customization. But if it's not that important, then no, it's not really necessary.
So we are quite out of time now.
Yeah, I'm gonna say a Happy New Year before you, because I need to go over there.
Yeah.
So Happy New Year, guys, and make the most of it. And I'll see you all in 2018. For a fresh start to the new year.
Yeah,
all right?
Yeah. So happy, let me wish you a happy new year too. And if you have any other question we did not answer, or you would like to discuss a little bit more, feel free either to use our support team or come back to another session next year. So you'll really have time to discuss all your questions. So I hope this session was useful for you, and yes, see you next year.